Hello and welcome back to another video. Now, are you going to Scarborough Fair? Sorry, you don't have to put that in the comments. It's a rhetorical question because today we're looking at the Graduate, a rather splendid 4K box set for this film from, what was it from? I should have looked that up in the first place. 1967, can you believe that? That's a very long time ago, even before I was born, and I'm 450 years old. So it's in 2 years' time, it'll be 60 years. Good God. So yeah, 58 years, and it's absolutely splendid what we've got here. So a quick, we've got the artwork there with Benjamin Braddock, aka Dustin Hoffman, in the background, and Anne Bancroft in the foreground, playing Mrs. Robinson. My mum was technically Mrs. Robinson, but not in the same sense as this film. And on the side there, we've got Dustin sort of at the bottom there, and the Graduate, etc. And then on the back, a whole lot of text, which I'll just read out in a moment, which probably isn't going to go very in focus as I do this. It was a bit of a pain when you're trying to film it. And then all the bits and pieces below, all the sort of the specifications, which I'll read out in a moment. But yeah, amazing film. One of the best films of all time, quite easily. And top flight performances from, well, obviously Dustin Hoffman. Very nervous college graduate, hence the Graduate, and he ends up having an affair with the rather slightly older Anne Bancroft. I forget exactly how older she was than him. That's something to look into. But it's packed full of incredible moments in this film. I will be reviewing the whole film shortly, along with all the extras. But one bit which always stands out is when Dustin Hoffman goes to meet Anne Bancroft in a hotel because they're going to get a room together because, well, as I say, get a room. And they obviously want to keep it away from both of their families. And, we'll just say the person who plays his dad, no, Anne Bancroft's husband is William Daniels, who also was the voice of Kit in Knight Rider, the car. So it's just amazing. It's one of those things that you sort of, I watched that programme at the time, and then later on I saw The Graduate and then realised, hang on, that voice. Yeah, oh God, it's him. But yeah, Dustin Hoffman, he goes to meet Anne Bancroft in the hotel, and he just says to the, he's sort of hovering around the reception, and the sort of rather discreet manager at the reception just goes, "Are you here for an affair, sir?" At which point Dustin Hoffman's all, "What?" And then it turns out he's the guy at reception is referring to a party that's going on, or like a do, hence an affair in the next room. Which point then Dustin Hoffman goes, "Yeah, barely says a word, just sort of lots of ums and ahs, and then he's gone." But yeah, it's just splendid film. But I've probably said splendid a lot this time because it is. And didn't show that. Could show that. Absolutely nothing on there. But there we go. So, winner of the Academy Award for Best Director and 5 BAFTAs, including Best Film, and right it should. The Graduate is one of the most celebrated and highly influential classics in modern cinema. Truly iconic and utterly groundbreaking in its unique visual style and subject matter, it changed the face of modern film and the minds of expectant audiences. Deep in the suburbs of Pasadena, a bored, confused and alienated 21-year-old graduate named Benjamin Braddock, Dustin Hoffman, awkwardly drifts from moment to moment in constant turmoil over his lack of direction and the uncertain impending future, which is always the way it is. When you finish university, you sort of got 3 years of drinking, and then you graduate, and what do you do for a job? Well, I spent time at my holiday job of little chef. Magic. That was fun. I think Benjamin Braddock had a much better time following graduation than I did. Anyways, driven by a desire for experience and desperate to avoid the corporate, deluded and mediocre world of his affluent parents, Benjamin succumbs to the advances of an older woman and begins an affair with the persuasive and enigmatic Mrs. Robinson, Anne Bancroft, the wife of one of his father's business partners. But what starts as a farcical flame becomes painfully complicated when Ben finds himself falling in love with her daughter. Sounds like the reincarnation of Peter Proud, which is one of the very weird films from the 70s, but something I saw when I was a kid, obviously, because I was a kid in the 70s, and it was just absolutely mad. Probably saw it around 1980 by the time it came on TV. I forget what year it came out, but yeah, the reincarnation of Peter Proud. It's mental, but it's amazing. So before we go into what's inside, we'll just go through a list of the special features. So the disc 1 is a 4K disc. Disc 2 is a Blu-ray, so you get the same film on both. Although if you've got a modern games console anyway, I do have a 4K player, but a modern games console like PS5, actually even PS4 did 4K discs. PS3 didn't, but then PS3 and PS4 did 3D Blu-rays, and the PS5 doesn't. So that's annoying. I think the 4K player I've got does do them. If not, I think it does. Pretty sure it does, but if not, I'm going to have to crack out the PS4 every time I want to watch a 3D film, because I can still watch those. Yes, very good they are sometimes as well. Anyway, the extras: audio commentaries, one from Professor Thomas Kobner, I don't know, but I'll look him up. One from Mike Nichols, the director, and Steven Soderbergh. Audio commentary with Dustin Hoffman and Katharine Ross. Some of these, a few of these extras have been sort of around before, but not all of them. Meeting with an author, Charles Webb. One-on-one with Dustin Hoffman, who were. Interview with producer Lawrence Terman. The Graduate, looking back. The Graduate at 25. Obviously a DVD extra at the time, not so it would have been. Actually, that come out. That would have been 1992. Maybe that was put out for the VHS. Who knows? Must have been, because DVDs didn't come into the UK until 99. No, in America 98, and probably Japan before that. But 1999 anyway. But so 25. Yeah, The Graduate was older than 25 at that point. That's for sure. Anyway, students of The Graduate, screen tests, scene analysis, about the music, and seduction featurette. And disc 3 is the original soundtrack. So the feature runtime for both, obviously for 4K and standard Blu-ray, is 106 minutes. Obviously 4K is 2160 HP, 2160p and 1080p for the Blu-ray. 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio sound in English with hard of hearing subtitles. The Blu-ray is typical B region, but the 4K is ABC, so you can just play those anywhere. That's fine. We've come a long way from DVD when it was like I think it's sort of about six basic regions, and then there was something like 7, 8, and 9, one of which was for oil rigs, something like that. Absolutely ridiculous situation that was. Anyways, so big, thick, meaty one this time. It were. Then we have, go through it bit by bit. Ooh, I wasn't expecting this. It doesn't mention it on the. Oh yes, it doesn't mention it on here. I think it does. But you've got. This must be the same thing. 60 page. Is it 60 page? 64 technically. Wow, collector's edition booklet. I was not expecting that. That's amazing. Just a quick flick through. You got pictures, lots of text, lots of pictures. I won't put my fingers over Anne Bancroft there. The reason I wasn't expecting this is because it doesn't list it on the back of the cover. But the original DVD, well, not the original DVD, but there was a director's chair version I reviewed years ago, which included a book, a 60-page book. I think it was 60 page, or it could have been 64, but it basically, I presume it's the exact same thing. Whether I can find that DVD after all this time, I don't know. But let's see now. It lists cast and production credits, but every now and again it just has this sort of fur coat kind of design. Well, this was using real fur in the film, I don't know. It's a long time ago. Original posters, things like this. So let's just see. Have we got the? We must have a menu of table. It doesn't seem to have a table of contents at the start. Well, I'll forgive them for that, absolutely. But yeah, loads of text and loads of stuff to have a read of. That's fantastic. That brilliant. Love that. And we've also got. We'll get into the 4K Blu-ray unboxing. This is about the only time when going vertical for the video would be a good idea, but with the camera. But yeah, it's these days, yes, do it. I'm doing it this way. I'm not a big fan on the vertical side of things, but lovely poster. Sung by Paul Simon, obviously. But why have just one when you can have two? And we get another one here as well. Open it very carefully. And that's mirroring the cover of the 4K artwork that we've got here. Whew. Absolutely lovely, that's fantastic. I think that's A3 size. And then the sort of comparison, yeah, that's sort of the more standard, I mean A3 again, but the more standard sort of picture that we're used to with this film, which sort of tends to be the cover that ends up on all the DVDs and Blu-rays and whatnot. So it's nice to have something a bit different. So we have, before I just show the box, we have. See, when I saw there was a third CD or third disc that had the soundtrack on, I thought that's what that was, because I just sort of saw it from the side like that. I thought it was like a CD case. No, so yeah, nice surprise. So big up to Studio Canal for that one. We've got, so that's the 4K disc right there with Benjamin. Obviously this, The Graduate spawned, put it to one side because there's something inside there, I'll show you. Obviously it's also spawned one of the best episodes of The Simpsons. I'm trying to think the name of the episode, but it's the one with Dustin Hoffman, and he gets seduced by Edna Crabapple, who at one point puts her leg up on the chair, and Dustin's looking through her leg. Yeah, Mrs. Crabapple, are you trying to seduce me? just brilliant. Yeah, he plays a substitute teacher, Dustin Hoffman. Amazing episode. I remember having a substitute teacher at my school, and it was in chemistry. It was a guy from Australia, and he came over. This was in, must have been A-level year, or the A-level 2 years that you have, and he we had from September to December we had to the guy that we normally have, and then for a whole year we had the Australian guy. I was going to bake a cake and take it in for his last day, and then I was bloody ill, so I completely missed those last couple of days. And he was a great teacher. I was just really gutted not to be able to say goodbye. And then when January came round, so for the final 6-7 months of school, we had the first teacher back, and he was awful. I can't remember the name of the substitute teacher though, but I can remember the name of the stand-in, and yeah, he wasn't. I won't name him. I wasn't very keen on him. But yeah, so when we lost the substitute, very annoying. So yeah, it's we share the pain, and that's the Blu-ray with and Bancroft there. Your Blu-ray will not come with my finger. And then we have, here's where the third disc comes in. Just hold it that way. So that's the CD there. The Graduate original soundtrack. And the things we've got there, Sound of Silence. Sound of Silence electric version. I won't sit too close. The Single and Party Foxtrot, Mrs. Robinson version 1, Sunport Cha-Cha-Cha, Scarborough Fair / Canticle Interlude, On the Strip, April Come She Will, The Folks, Scarborough Fair / Canticle Extended version for half an hour, A Great Effect, The Big Bright Green Pleasure Machine, alternate version. Whew. 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 Mrs. Robinson version 2, and the 14th and final track is A Sound of Silence reprise. So yeah, fantastic stuff. For those who are interested in catalogue numbers, catalogue number of this box set is should have brought me readers. OPT for Optimum, part of Studio Canal. OPT UCE 4609. So that's OPT UCE 4609, and the soundtrack is literally that, the same with -CD on the end. But inside, I'll just show you that first of all. Get it the right way around. So that's Bancroft, Dustin Hoffman, and Dustin Hoffman again in the middle, who's yeah, that's sort of like scuba gear. Very, very bizarre scene with that one. And inside, Mrs. Robinson, if you don't mind me saying so, this conversation is getting a little strange. Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you? Benjamin, I'm not trying to seduce you. Would you like me to seduce you? Which is featured in George Michael's Fast Love, at the very start of the song. I think that's the one. So yeah, Mrs. Robinson, if you don't mind my saying so, this conversation is getting a little strange. Yeah, should I read it out again? Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you? Benjamin, I'm not trying to seduce you. Would you like me to seduce you? Oh, that comes out okay. Anyway, so I think that's everything. So yeah, put the CD soundtrack, the Blu-ray, and the 4K disc. And there we have it. So that is absolutely fantastic. I'll put all the information and link to buy it in the description below. So do click on it. And yes, we've got the 4K disc, the Blu-ray, the CD soundtrack, obviously this beautiful box set, 2 posters, and that 60-page booklet, which I was not, so 64-page booklet, which I was not expecting. That is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, maybe the original was 60 pages, and there are a few extra pages that fill in with the that sort of leopard print feel to them. So I don't know. Maybe it's easier to produce 64 pages than 60. Maybe the original had 64, and I can't remember. I've had a sleep since then. Anyway, I think that's fantastic. I'll be reviewing the whole thing very soon. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all the notifications. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.